welcome back. This is going to be another discussion video and hopefully you'll enjoy this one. So basically this discussion came about in my mind after I watched Whiplash. And you'll know what I mean in a minute, but that is where the discussion came from. I always like to kind of tell you guys where my thought for this discussion came from, but that's kind of where this one came from. But basically the discussion is the after effects of a great movie. Do you ever get like an after effect of a great movie? And I feel like it doesn't happen loads, but sometimes it does. And it definitely happened to me with Whiplash and a few other movies I mentioned, but first let's talk about that one. So basically, I watched Whiplash and it just absolutely blew me away. And then I felt that after the movie, I feel like, well, for example, with some movies you could watch a movie and then you could just go ahead and watch something else on the TV, or you could watch a different movie straight after, back to back. But with an amazing movie, I feel like you can't do that. You can't just go ahead and jump onto another movie straight afterwards. You can't just, like, that night, I could have had time to watch another film. But I just couldn't. That one was just stuck in my head, so I couldn't focus on something else, because Whiplash was just in my mind. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I was like, wow, what a great movie, and I just kind of wanted to appreciate it for a bit after watching the movie. And it was just fantastic, and I loved it, and I loved that after effect of the great movie. And, for example, I remember seeing, Inception in the cinemas years ago, and after that movie I was just like, whoa, like, there's so much to talk about, so much to think about and figure out, you know. And like maybe like The Dark Knight, I consider like The Dark Knight to be an amazing movie, and you just like, after watching it, you kind of just don't even know what to think, and you've got so much to think about because the movie was just so great, and you have all these things, and it's like, wow. So yeah, when a movie really blows me away, I have that kind of weird after effect, and I'm like, oh, that movie was awesome, and I just kind of can't get it out of my mind for a bit, and then I can't just then focus on another movie because I'm really focused on that movie, and I could just watch that movie again instead of watching a different one. I also get the other kind of after effects of a great movie. For example, with Guardians of the Galaxy and Big Hero 6, which I both loved those. I gave them 5 stars, but I didn't get the same kind of after effects. Basically, with those two movies, I just felt so happy and bounced around. I could just like dance around no matter what time it is. They both ended and I just kind of felt great. I just was like, oh, the end, you know, when the credits come on and they got a great song on, I was just like, there's that. It was just great. I loved the end of those two. After watching Guardians of the Galaxy, I went back and watched different parts of it again, and I watched, like, you know, I wanted to watch certain bits again, and same with Big Hero 6, I went back and watched certain bits of it, and I laughed again, and I thought it was funny. And, you know, so those two movies also I kind of had after effects of, in that I went back and watched certain parts again right after watching it. I just kind of wanted to dance around because of the music in them, and it was just so much fun, and I just kind of had a big smile on my face after watching them. And then obviously you got the movies that have a big impact, and you just kind of are like, you don't really know what to think, and you're kind of thinking about them for a while. But yeah, so that's kind of, and there's many movies that kind of do that, but not tons. I could list a few, but there's not bunches. And those are some of my favourite type of movies. Movies that just kind of leave you thinking about them and wanting more of them, or, you know, if they're a really happy, cheery movie, you kind of go back and watch bits and it's funny and it's great. But if they're more of an impactful movie and it's not like, it's not a funny kind of movie, you kind of more like sat thinking about it and you just got it in your mind and you kind of, you know, go over it in your mind, and it's a great thing to have that kind of impact on you, to have that effect. Does that make sense? So I was wondering whether anybody else has after effects of a great movie, like, you know, the effects of a movie once you finish watching it, where you can't just kind of move on to something else, you're kind of stuck in the mindset of that movie for a little bit. But yeah, that's kind of pretty much all this video is about. I'd just love to know your thoughts on it, because I've never really discussed it with anyone or heard anyone really discussing that after of a movie, of a, you know, of a great movie. And also, I'd love to know what movie gives you that kind of after effect, whether it's the happy funny one where you go back and watch bits, or whether it's the kind of more of an impactful one, you just kind of sat thinking about it like, wow, that movie. Yeah, so let me know down in the comments below if you've ever had that and what movies you've had it with. I felt this was actually a really short video. That's pretty much all I've got to say though. I'm not going to try and ramble on about more when that's pretty much all there is. But yeah, basically, I love movies that give you that, such a powerful movie experience that afterwards you just are left thinking about them and you can't just kind of move on and watch something else and carry on. And then also you want to tell everybody about them, like, oh my god, have you seen this movie? And you could just talk about it and think about it, and then it's left in your mind still weeks later. those kind of movies. Let me know down in the comments below if you get those after effects of watching a fantastic movie, and which movies did that to you, and in what way, and what you kind of feel about it, and what you do, and things like that. So comment down below with your thoughts. Until then, guys, I will see you next time. Thumbs up if you enjoy these discussion videos. I'm always thinking of really random little things when I watch movies, so I just like to discuss them with you guys in case you think of these things too. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, or if you are a newbie, and I'll see you then. Goodbye!